It's low-key kind of ugly, but it'll get the job done. Like, no wonder. Okay, we just filmed the video. What I'm doing right now, since I'm like pre that training plan, the things that I'm focusing on right now. Only 2 miles today, she says. When it comes to choosing which books I market, it's never just like I want to see more book sales for that specific book. There's always a larger plan as to why I'm marketing that book. You have to think bigger picture than that. Good morning, happy Monday. Welcome to a new vlog. I'm putting a band-aid on my foot. Save a blister. But we are gonna start the day with a nice long walk because it is sunny for the first time in days and it's like 50 degrees or just under, and I want to take advantage. So I'm thinking there's this new coffee, it's not new, but it's new to me, coffee shop that I've been wanting to go to, but it's like a little too far out of the way for most like run out and get coffee excursions. It's 1.3 miles for me. I'm gonna walk it, like I'm not gonna drive a mile. So round trip, it's like nearly 3 miles to get a coffee, which is why in normal circumstances I would not do it, because I wanted to go for a walk. We're just gonna lump the 2 activities together. I'm gonna listen to like a podcast or an audiobook or something. That's the plan. I might get too hot in this, but this is really thin. We have 2 Kit Kats. 2 Kit Kats. Yeah. I'm gonna fall right off this thing. You look beautiful today. I feel so goofy when I end up like head to toe in one brand. It's an accident. I don't mean to be a walking advertisement. It'll be fine. Can it just be us tonight? Under the night sky, gonna make my skin rise. Can it just be us tonight? Dinny, I missed you. We're back. Oh, I need to stretch. I ended up taking the scenic route, so I ended up doing a little over 4 miles. And I don't think I did an intro to this vlog. Hi, if you're new here, my name's Katie Wismer. I'm an author, write fantasy and romance. This vlog, I don't even know. We'll see what happens, what we're doing. So the coffee shop was cute. I low-key wanted to go scope. I need some water, hold on. So I low-key was scoping it out because online it looked like it might be a good place to go sit and work, which not a lot of shops around me are. They're either too small and they get super busy so you can't find a seat, or they're bigger and they still are super busy and you can't find a seat, or they like don't have comfortable chairs. This one looked like it might have good seating, and it did, so I might go back there. And the coffee was decent. Anyway, then I'm taking the scenic route back home, and for the whole last mile, once I turned around and started coming home, it was about a mile, and this girl who was walking her dog, who looked about my age, was going the same way. And for that whole last mile, this poor girl, I followed her every single turn because there was some like less than favorable parts between there and to get back to my apartment, so you really do need to weave through certain streets. And so it just so happened that like every single turn she took, I was taking. I was like, this poor girl is gonna think I'm following her. Lo and behold, we live in the same building. We ended up in the same place. I was like, no wonder. I was trying to sync my Fitbit so I could see the stats from this, and it's just like not loading. Oh, there we go. 4.04 miles. Although my pace is like super skewed because I forgot to pause it when I was in the coffee shop, like ordering and waiting for my coffee. But I've been like also trying to scope out good. If you don't care about my like marathon training and stuff, you can skip this. I'm just gonna be talking about stuff like that for a minute. I've been scoping out like good routes for me to run, and unfortunately, like I was saying, less than favorable parts of the city. A lot of people will talk badly about Portland. I'm not one of them. I really, really love it here. But I'm also a woman in the heart of a city who walks around alone and definitely feels unsafe at times. And so all of these places, or all of these routes that I would love to run, unfortunately, like there's no good way for me to get to them without going through a sketchy part of town. So I've been testing out like, what if I go around this way? What if I go down this way? Trying to find like a way that feels the safest for me to get there. Hasn't happened yet. Felt a little sketchy today in certain places, but we did the best that we could. Again, if you don't care about the marathon stuff, feel free to skip this. But I did have a couple of people comment when I talked about it, saying that they would want to hear about it. So it's not until November, so I'm not like doing my training plan yet. My training plan is a 20-week one, so we'll start that 20 weeks out, which is a great deal from here. But I am still like doing quite a bit trying to get myself ready before then. So this marathon is apparently one of the hardest marathon courses. So we love that. I think it's like from mile 10 to 19, it's just straight uphill. Like just straight uphill. That is what scares me, that hill, more than anything. So I am training for a marathon, but I'm also like very aware that this one's gonna be tough, and so I'm trying to, you know, get myself prepared. Honestly, more than anything, like mentally prepared for that. And so right now, I'm like scatterbrained. What I'm doing right now, since I'm like pre that training plan, the things that I'm focusing on right now. One, just like getting used to being on my feet for really long periods of time. I don't really have a time goal for this marathon. The limit is actually 8 hours and most are 6 hours, so it's a longer time period. So realistically, I could walk the whole thing. I'm not going to. But it does make me feel a little bit better that like I have plenty of time to complete it. Also, if I didn't say this, I'm doing this with my mom. So my mom and I are going to be running this together. So she thinks that she's going to be trying to keep up with me. I don't think that's true at all. I'm gonna be training a lot trying to keep up with her, because if you didn't know, my mom is a bit of a beast, a bit of a retired beast, but a beast nonetheless. My whole life she did triathlons, half marathons. She's run a marathon before. She did her one and only marathon, I think I was in 8th grade. So she hasn't been running for years since then. She used to run with my dad. He doesn't run anymore either. So she feels like she's gonna be struggling to keep up with me because she hasn't been running for a while, and I'm like, you've done this before, like you are like a veteran at this, and I am not a runner at all. The last time she and I did a race together, I think was like 2012, and like I did cross country in high school, and I ran like some 5Ks in like college, but like I have never been a distance runner. I've always loved a good like sprint intervals on the treadmill after a lift at the gym, but I've never been a long distance runner. So anyway, her goal for the marathon is to do it in under 6 hours. Her first one she did in like 4. So my goal as far as time is just to freaking keep up with her. I don't want to be the one slowing her down. So if we do, worst case scenario, end up taking as long as that 6 hours, like I need to be prepared to be on my feet for 6 hours. So that's one thing. Also just getting used to running regularly, but not doing it too often and upping my mileage too quickly. The number one thing that I'm focusing on right now is preventing injury as much as possible. So slowly upping my mileage and just being consistent and just getting used to running consistently, and then doing a lot of strategic strength training to best support my joints. So I've been doing a lot of Pilates, a lot of bar, a lot of yoga and stuff, just trying to strengthen everything to protect my ankles and my knees and my hips, and also my lower back. Really, those are the main things. Also trying really hard to like purposefully go slow so that I can focus on my form, because I feel like that has been, in the past I haven't liked running because I'll run 4 miles. Like I am fit enough to run just because I do so much otherwise, so I could just like have never run before and then just like go and run 4 miles easily, but I'm in pain afterwards. My knee hurts, my hip hurts because my form sucks. So I've been working on getting better at my form. So yeah, that's kind of the baseline. Getting used to running regularly, getting used to being on my feet for long periods of time, strength training to prevent injury and to just get stronger. And honestly, right now I'm gonna like slowly up my mileage and get used to running longer distances, but I would, since I'm not like into a training plan right now, I think something I'd like to focus on is just my speed for a 5K. Like I said, I can run 3 or 4 miles really easily, but I'm kind of slow. So I think what would be fun for me right now is just working with like intervals and training to up that 5K time, so it gives me something to focus on that forces me to keep running regularly. And that's what we're doing right now. I'm thinking of going for a half marathon around July, so we'll probably get into a training plan for that around here somewhere. Anyway, that'll be the end of the little marathon talk. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. It is Monday. It's now like past 11. We are currently editing Tell Me It's Wrong, which is coming out in April. You can pre-order it now. It's down below if you'd like. We are working our way through my to-do list of edits. In the previous vlog, I kind of got through all of the stuff that I could just like go into a specific place in the manuscript and do. So now I think I need to go back to the beginning and just start reading through and like taking notes of where I can change things throughout, because I have a list of things that I want, but they're these like vague bullet points of like incorporate this more throughout, like include more reflections from her about X, Y, and Z throughout. So I just need to like look around in the manuscript for like places that I can incorporate these things to flesh out these different things. I'm trying to like explain this with but it's hard when I can't really give detail. Also, thank you so much if you watched my goals video, because I talked about like engagement on my channel and stuff in that video, and then you guys really showed up and so many people commented, and I just wanted to say like I really appreciated that. I didn't mean to like say that to make anyone feel bad. Like that wasn't my goal, was to say that to then get a ton of engagement, but then seeing like the outpouring of support in the comments, I really appreciated that, so thank you. It's so nice out. I just want to go like do stuff. I don't want to work, but we should work today now. Maybe you'll find some place to go. Maybe I'll go sit on the roof. It was a little chilly out there, I'm not gonna lie. Like it was a great temperature to like be moving. After the first like mile I had like warmed up, but the first part I was cold, so I don't know. I don't understand. It's been raining like from sunrise to sunset for the past like 3 days, and now it's just like sun, and I just want to be outside. It's now almost 1. We have brought back the cat hoodie blanket. I was cold. So I did a little bit of writing, as I was talking about in the previous vlog. Like I know what I need to fix, but I don't know where things are gonna go to fix them, so I just have been like in a separate document writing these little paragraphs of like internalization to like give my character, and I'll figure out where it goes later. So I did a little bit of that, which will help with one of my bullet points, and my brain does not want to be doing this right now, and that is something that I have come to understand about myself in the past couple of years, and thankfully I have a job that allows me to do this, is to work with my brain, not against it. This task is not really gelling right now, but what I feel like I could do is sit down and film a video, and I have a whole list of videos I need to film, so we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna go do that. I'm gonna have to like touch up my hair after being in the wind for over an hour, but I think we're gonna film the how many books I sold in 2024 video. It's gonna look a little bit different this year. I'm thinking kind of like Spotify Wrapped-esque. Like I am gonna show you how many books I sold this year, but I have so many other numbers and so many other charts and stuff that I came up with that should be fun. So basically just like a 2024 wrapped author edition. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet, but we're gonna film that today, and then we'll see how long that takes me and how I'm feeling after that video. If I'm still feeling like that is kind of the energy of today is filming, we might do another one, because I have many to do. That's the plan. Okay, we just filmed the video. It took me like an hour, oh my gosh. Not the filming, like the getting the ready, getting all my notes together, sitting down and filming. So it's now 1:45. Probably gonna just import that footage and just sit here and edit it. I like to pick a task and just like do it to completion all in one go. So we're gonna wrap. That's probably gonna be the rest of my work day, is getting this video ready to go. I finished the video. It's up early on my Patreon page. It's now a little after 4 o'clock. I actually hate how this thumbnail turned out, but I am so tired of tweaking it, so I might change it by the time it goes live on the channel. But that video is done, and I am tired. I do not want to work anymore. I have one more email I want to do before the end of the day. I've been emailing with one of my with my cover designer. I don't know how much I want to get into that on the channel. The alternate version. We're gonna get into it. If you're wondering when I'm gonna do the cover reveal for Tell Me It's Wrong, if it were up to me, it would have already happened by now. I had planned to do it by now, so it'll probably just happen any day now. But the alternate one might be revealed later, and the alternate version might not be available at release. If you're on my Patreon page, you've heard a little bit about my experience with this designer for the alternate version. I don't know why this is like so bright. A major character flaw of me is ignoring red flags in favor of giving people second chances. So basically I just had a really bad experience for a 3rd time with her, and ended up having to fire her, and now I need somebody else to do that cover. It will still be available if you got the alternate version of book 1 and you want to have matching books. I am going to make that happen. The designer who does the people cover is going to be helping me do the alternate version as well now, but obviously I wasn't able to book her in advance. I told her this might happen. Anyway, that's like an ongoing thing. I don't have the 2nd cover yet, but hopefully I will soon. We'll see. How did I get on this topic? Oh, I was emailing the cover designer. So I need to email one more person, and then I think I'm gonna call it for the work day. I might work on my book tonight, but honestly, I'm just like really not in the mood to do it today. Happy Tuesday. I'm stoked. I got some new running socks. I'm hoping these will make a difference. Today I'm gonna do some light strength training and then just run 2 miles. To be honest, I'm feeling really good. I feel like I could probably run more than that. But again, slow and steady. I'm trying not to overdo it. Christine's favorite toy. and my brother sent the cats a Christmas present. It came in that bag. He likes the bag more than the present. As far as work goes, I've been editing this vlog and we're gonna work on Tell Me It's Wrong later today. I'll update you after my workout when he's done, when he's worn himself out. Only 2 miles today, she says. Or multitasking, I gotta stretch. Listen, the first mile fucking sucked. My foot was hurting. My body was like, no, I don't want to do this right now. The whole way through. Then I get to mile 2 and I'm like, damn, I could run this whole freaking marathon today. I'm feeling great. So, and then I get to the end of mile 2 and I end it feeling good, and I end it in the middle of a good song. And I'm like, let's just do 3 miles. Then I get to the end of 3 miles, feeling good, on a good song. Let's just do 4 miles. Yeah, long story short, we just ran for like an hour and a half. It's okay. My only other run that I've done today, I can't talk, this week so far was on Sunday. And that was only 3 miles. And I'm trying to limit myself to 2 like long-ish, long for me right now, runs a week, so I don't like overdo it. So this will be my second major run of the week. And if I do anything else, it's more of like at the end of a workout, I'll just like run a quick mile. But I won't do like another dedicated run this week. I say that. I should stick to it. Don't want to injure myself, but I felt good. The power of a good playlist, I'm telling you. I also just feel like that really long walk yesterday, it was also, there was a lot of hilly areas. I just feel like that like opened everything up, and because I did my little strength training before I ran, it really had just like activated all of my muscles. My body was just like moving today. Already drank my electrolyte thing. Now I'm probably gonna go make some real food, maybe like a smoothie, I don't know. My go-to is usually like a protein bagel with some peanut butter and an apple and some hemp seeds on it. But I just like don't have an appetite. I don't really feel like chewing. So a smoothie might be the way to go. Compact that with a lot of protein too. So I've come to the conclusion that my remaining edits would best be done alongside my line edits. So I'm gonna just like start from the beginning and read through and make changes as I go. So I'm now gonna be making a little chart in my journal to track this like I do with all of my books. Something like this, so I can mark off each chapter as I finish.
Just a dream, just all in my head.
It's low-key kind of ugly, but it'll get the job done. The first 2 chapters I've edited quite a bit because they were included as a sneak peek in book 1, but we're still gonna go through them. And in the past I've like hopped around while doing line editing, but because I'm also gonna be keeping some things in mind that like I need to get a better feel for the flow and everything for, we're gonna do this in order. It's 2 p.m. This video's getting long. This will be my final talk about the training and stuff, I promise. If you're curious on like specifically what my training plan is right now, I know I kind of talked about my goals towards the beginning of this video. Right now I'm working out 6 days a week, which luckily, because I was already such like an avid fitness person before this, like I'm used to that kind of load. So that hasn't changed. It's just now I'm incorporating slightly different workouts than I used to do. So 6 days a week, 1 rest day, at least 2 like dedicated runs a week, 2 all out like strength training days, and then the rest are just kind of whatever I'm feeling. And also I want to do yoga at least once per week. Been doing a lot of core work, a lot of, because I'm anticipating the hills and stuff, like Stairmaster kind of stuff, other cardio, running drills, just stuff like that. Actually, I think I got some questions on the previous vlog, so I'll answer them here, and then I think we're gonna wrap up this vlog and do off while I'm looking like this. Do you have any kind of work schedule that you try to follow, or do you change it up regularly? I think as you have seen in this one, no, I don't have a schedule. I really do just kind of listen to myself and go with what I'm feeling that day. It does shift when I have deadlines. If something feels more urgent and something's coming up, then I will be putting more time into that. But just like on a day-to-day basis, I just kind of go where I'm feeling. As long as I'm making progress in my big goals a little bit every day, then I feel good. I feel like in the past I've tried to make more of a schedule for myself because I felt like that's what I should be doing. Like I work for myself, but I should be following that like 9 to 5 schedule. I should be working during those hours. I should be having this full day's worth of work. And for a while there, that was like what success meant to me, was like always being busy and working super hard all day long. And now success to me looks like I'm doing well enough that I actually don't need to work all day long. And I do think that I work hard, but I have more flexibility on like when and where I do that. And then the final question I'm gonna answer today actually is coming over from Patreon because they got early access to this wrap-up video. So slight spoiler for the content of that video, although I think that went up before this vlog. And they're asking about the book sales for my book, The Anti-Relationship Year. I remember when that went super viral and was one of your best performing books. I was wondering if you think you could get it to selling well with TikToks again, or is it not as much of a priority because of the Marionettes and Tell Me It's Right can make possibly more money? Just curious because I know that book used to do well. I'm super interested in your take. So yeah, if you haven't been around since then, The Anti-Relationship Year went viral in 2022. It was actually the first book of mine to go viral. It's to date the best I've ever had a book sell. It's the only book of mine that has ever made it into the top 100 on the Kindle store. And at the time I didn't even fully appreciate it because I didn't realize like what a big deal that was. And for years it was my best seller. It had sold the most, even more than the Marionettes, because of that viral period. Since then, it has these periods where it sells well, but I don't market it as much anymore as I used to. And part of that is strategic, and part of that is not like laziness, but also like if I have to put my time and my intention and my energy into one place, like there's only so many ways I can spread myself, and sometimes I just don't get to marketing that one. So is that something I would like to change in the future? Potentially, yes. So when it comes to choosing which books I market, it's never just like I want to see more book sales for that specific book. There's always a larger plan as to why I'm marketing that book. You have to think bigger picture than that. If I'm going to put the time and the effort into marketing this book, what results am I going to see? Is it just that this book's going to sell well for a short period of time? Is it going to be read through to other books? And then also I have found when a book is selling well, you've like padded it up with a ton of videos, it's easier to keep it up there once it's up there. So keeping that momentum going for a book that's already selling well versus trying to raise all of the books at the same time and like spreading all of your energy and videos across all of these books. None of them get up to that point. Does that make sense? You're like spreading it all, so then they're all lower. Is this making sense? So for me, my main focuses lately have been for Tell Me It's Right and for the Marionettes, because they're selling well. So I'm just kind of keeping that padding, and then the momentum starts to take over and it starts to sell itself if I can keep it that high. If a book is like within the top 100 of its category, it's more visible on Amazon and it starts to sell itself because people just see it in that category and they buy it without necessarily having to be driven to buy it from a video from me. When a book is ranked that high, I want to keep it that high because it's less work for me if it can stay up there. So that's one reason why, specifically for Tell Me It's Right, I'm focusing more on that because it's high. I want to keep it high. It's also a series starter, and ideally I want to get as many people into book 1 as possible before book 2 comes out in April. And also this is just like what I'm writing currently. The books that I've written in the past, I'm not necessarily writing any books like them anytime soon. So these are the kind of readers that I want to follow me into this next stage of publishing. And then the Marionettes, I think, is obvious why I market that one so much, because it's a 4-book series and all of the books have cliffhangers. So if I hook them with book 1, they go and read all 4 books without any effort from me. So if I can get the Marionettes going viral, that is where the most money will come from, because then I get 4 books worth of sales from that. The Anti-Relationship Year is an easy book to market, I have found. Videos about that when I post them today still do well regularly. It has some good hooks and people do go and buy the book when I do that. I don't see that conversion as much as my other books, and I think that's for a couple of reasons. For one, The Anti-Relationship Year is my only book written in 3rd person, and romance readers have very strong opinions on first versus third, and a lot of people won't pick up a book purely because it's third person. I can do the work and make the video and get them to that page, and they see it's in third person and then they're out. Also, it's the second book in a companion series, and they're standalones. You can read whichever, but there's always confusion. People think they need to go back to read book one, and I have a whole video, I have many videos where I talked about all of the mistakes I made with that first series. I don't necessarily want people going back to book one. So there's that whole issue. The Anti-Relationship Year is also quite a short book, so if I do convince you to read it, most people are going to go read it in Kindle Unlimited. I get paid next to nothing for that one compared to my longer books. And this book is also one of my more polarizing books. People don't like it for many reasons, some of it being controversial subject matter. Like, there's an abortion in this book, and that's a hot topic right now, and I think part of me subconsciously maybe is not marketing it because, like, I don't even want to fucking deal with that. But then also because of the polarizing nature of this book, the people who love it, the people who don't. It has a not great average rating. It's like 3 something, and a lot of people, if you do the work to get them to the page, then they see that the rating is low, they write it off, they won't even try. So I feel like there's a lot of barriers to people buying the book now, so I'm less willing to put in that labor to get them to the page, knowing the conversion rate of people who are actually going to buy it are lower than for some of my other books. Hopefully that makes sense. So I do still market it, it does still sell. I just strategically think of it like, what percentage of people, even if a video does well, what percentage of the people who go and see the page are actually going to buy it? And what percentage of those people are going to go buy my other books, because there's a less clear path of where to go next from that book, because I don't have anything like it. It's written in third person, it's written in 2 different timelines, it's a new adult set in college book. I don't have any other books in that age range exactly. The most common path, or where I would want you to go from there, is Tell Me It's Right. The main character of Tell Me It's Right actually appears in the Anti-Relationship Year, so there is a connection, and I do link to it in the back of that book, but I don't find that read through to be as organic and guaranteed as with something like the Marionettes, where I see a very good read through with that one. And then the same with Broken Perfect Lies. Like, I can actually market that one pretty well. I've gotten some good hooks for that, and when I do a video, it sells. I'm actually more willing to sell or put the effort into Broken Perfect Lies because it's a longer book, less polarizing, written in first person, but it's also a standalone and there's no clear path next. It's also a romantic suspense. I don't have any other books like that. So I have to think of not just, can I sell this book, but if I sell this book, are those readers gonna go buy my other books? Would they like my other books? Or are they only gonna want something like this book, and I don't have anything else like that to offer? So lots of things to think about. Your question was, could I get the Anti-Relationship Year selling as well as I had before? Possibly, but if I can only post so many videos in a day, do I want to be posting them all about that book, or do I want to post about my other books? Back then in 2022, when I was marketing this book, I could post a million videos just about this book because I only had so many books out. So things have just changed. I hope that answered your question. Wow, I just talked to her a really long time, and that's gonna be the end of the vlog. Thanks so much for being here. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions for the next vlog. Hope you're all doing well. Leave me a comment down below. I'd love to see it. And there's a million links down below in my description. See you in the next one very, very soon. Bye.
Never met someone like you, felt something like you.